Well, you're going to save more money if you choose to rent versus buying, because now you don't have to come up with a
20% down payment.
Hello wonderfuls, it's Ria here, and today I wanted to bring up with you a really scary kind of idea that I've seen floating around the internet lately, and that is this idea that renting is better than buying. And I almost feel like it's potentially a dangerous idea because of the people who I initially saw promoting this notion. I saw it like on Facebook, and so you have these investor people. All of a sudden it seems like everybody's getting into the I can help you fix your credit game, right? I don't know if that's happening on your timelines, but it's definitely happening on mine. All of a sudden, everybody I know is a credit repair guru. This is not to speak against credit repair or anything like that, but all of a sudden, everybody's hawking their wares. I can fix your credit for, you know, this price or whatever. And now they've got people saying, yeah, well, actually, I can fix your credit. You can get a good credit score. And by the way, don't think it's a good idea to go buy a home, because buying a home is a scam. So again, the people who I see promoting this kind of idea is scary to me because they are promoting it to our community. And I'm like, what is really going on here? So I started to do some digging, and what I found was, beyond the people who were just on my Facebook friends list, there are these gurus, these investment gurus and experts across the internet who have books, they have videos, and they're out here doing interviews and again writing these books saying it's not a good idea to purchase a home. You're actually wasting your money. There's actually better ways for investment. And so I thought I'd share with you some of those top reasons that I see being repeated over and over again, and kind of explain to you my thoughts on it. So one of the first things that I see constantly is that, well, you're going to save more money if you choose to rent versus buying, because now you don't have to come up with a 20% down payment. So first of all, 20% down payment in order to purchase a home as a requirement, that's actually a myth. If you qualify for your home loan and get a conventional home loan, the 20% thing comes in. That 20% will allow you not to be required to pay mortgage insurance, or like a mortgage insurance premium, right? And that's usually only required by your lender for a year after you purchase your home. All right, so that's if you go that conventional route. But truth be told, a lot of people don't go that route. You can get a conventional loan. There's a thing called Conventional 75, which actually requires a lot less than that 20% in order for you to get a home loan. You can also get an FHA loan. You can get a VA loan if you've been in the armed forces. There is a USDA loan, which is like 0% down, I believe. So everything that I've just mentioned is 5% or less of your home purchase price. Yet I'm seeing it on Investopedia and other reputable investment sites that are saying 20% down. Everybody doesn't have 20% down. That's so unrealistic. Yeah, it's realistic, and everybody doesn't put 20% down. So whoever's saying that, please stop the line, because you're scaring people from even thinking about going to get a mortgage. The next thing that I saw over and over again is this whole idea that equity is a scam. People are citing how homes can lose value, and then when you go to sell your home, you're actually going to be losing money. They are citing the 2008 market crash, right? So one of the things that we need to acknowledge about people losing their homes and losing money during that whole bubble burst is, one, homes were overpriced to begin with, okay? So homes were overpriced. People were buying homes overpriced. And then on top of it, we had a very big issue when it comes to the mortgages that were being offered, as well as the appraisers. Okay, so homes are being overpriced, but the only way a home can go through and get approved for a loan is if the appraiser says yes, the home is worth a certain value, right? But the appraisers were basically being paid off by the bank. They were getting kickbacks, and so in order to produce and be able to get those kickbacks, they were willing to say that homes were worth whatever you wanted them to be at. Also, the banks and the lenders were giving out these loans that might have only been $800 a month for the first so many years, but eventually they ballooned and skyrocketed with interest a few years in, and so now that $800 a month has become $1,600 a month, or $2,000 or $2,500, and that wasn't what you were prepared for. Those are things of the past. Since then, the government has stepped in and put down heavy regulations on appraisers. Like, they literally have a foot on top of appraisers of what they can and cannot do, right? And the mortgage industry has been cleaned up as well. So a lot of laws have been put into place. I'm not saying that it's perfect, but I am saying citing this one big huge blip is not what's happening today. And people need to stop using that 2008 anomaly as an excuse as to why you shouldn't buy a home now, okay? So in fact, I am working with someone right now who purchased a townhome, and I want to say in 2012, right? And I'm making up these numbers, but let's say she purchased her home for maybe $198. Right now, we can get her home sold for $254. Okay, maybe it'll go up a little, maybe it'll go down a little, but that's $50,000 of equity. 2012 to 2000 to right now 2019. That's 7 years. In 7 years, she has about $50,000 worth of, actually $55,000 worth of equity that she could potentially get if she chooses to sell her home. $55,000. And what did she invest? Her down payment. Okay, so when you think about it, she has paid monthly every month, right, to a lender who gave her the mortgage, right? So you can almost look at that as the same as paying rent. But instead of, when you're done with the lease, you walk away and maybe you get your deposit back, maybe not because you put some holes in the wall, she can walk away with $50,000 to $55,000 in her pocket, in addition to all the money that she was paying on her loan minus the interest. Okay, so this is what I don't understand, why people are saying you don't make any money, why buying a home is not a good investment. If you're gonna live somewhere and you know that you're gonna be there at least a few years, put your money into the home, buy the home, and then when you walk away, pocket something. Even if your home value does not increase, you do have the equity built up into what you paid into the home. Now, yes, interest is taking out, but every month a certain amount of your payment is going towards interest and going towards your equity. So when you purchase the home, you're putting that back in your pocket. Does that make sense? People say that you lose money when you are owning your own home because you have to pay for repairs, if appliances break down, if there's issues, you know, I don't know, something falls on your house, right? So things like homeowners insurance and home warranty takes care of that. The idea that these articles and these experts and fake gurus are putting out there is that your landlord will be the one responsible for any repairs. But if you've been a long time renter, like I've spent most of my life renting, and even when I was a child, my family rented, right? But if you've ever had an issue with your home and then you try to get the landlord to come, you're lucky if you have a landlord who's responsive. But a lot of landlords aren't good landlords. This doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means that they are not business people set up to be landlords. They're regular people who own a home and want to rent it out, right? So when the washer stops working, they say, oh, okay, we'll get to it. But they don't see that it's going to impact your quality of life because they're looking at it like you can just go to the laundromat. No big deal. You didn't rent the home for the washer and dryer. So basically they're going to fix it on their own time, and now it's a huge inconvenience to you, right? Or maybe you have a leaky pipe. They're going to fix it, maybe with some gum and duct tape, right? So it's not being fixed up to your standards. On top of that, you have to deal with things like your landlord constantly coming in and out of your home. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm a private person, and I don't really like landlords coming in and out whenever they feel like it. In fact, the last lease that I signed, I remember that it was like, landlord has the right to enter the home at any time. First of all, in the state of Georgia, that's illegal, and I crossed it out in front of him and told him, no, you need 48 hours notice. Here's the thing, you guys a lot of times are signing contracts that actually have illegal terms to them. So that was illegal. I knew that because I've had a real estate license since 2007, honestly, and I know what the laws are. But you just don't want to deal with people who are just going to throw their terms over your life. Here's the other thing. You might be like, well, I'm happy with renting. My rent's only, it's a very low amount. My landlord's a good guy. But what if your landlord decides to sell the home and you don't want to buy it? Guess what? You got to put up with people coming in and out your home while you live there to show the home. And then either you're going to have a new landlord or you're going to get kicked out of the home. Who wants to live under that stress? Why would you submit yourself and your family to that? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And I've read through a ton of these articles, and I've listened to some of these so-called gurus and experts, and for every single reason that they give why it's better to rent, I've got 5 reasons why it doesn't make any sense if you are capable of purchasing your own home. And that's the big thing right there, if you are capable. If you are still in college or you just graduated and you know you're trying to figure it out, you're not making enough money right now, then of course, why would somebody say go buy a home? But if that's your goal, then do what you have to do to eventually get there. And then here's the other thing. One of the things I saw was that people were saying people are so stressed to pay their mortgage because it's so high. Yo, look, if the bank approves you for a certain amount that's going to cost you $2,500 a month, but you're not actually comfortable paying $2,500 a month when you include your homeowner's insurance and any HOA fees and the taxes, you know, as it's divided over the year, figure out what you can afford. Don't borrow at the top of your availability just because it's there. Borrow what you can afford. A lot of times they're saying people aren't able to afford their mortgage and they're pulling their hair out trying to be able to afford everything. Can I be honest? If you have agreed to pay more than what you can actually afford, that's on you. That's not the government and the banks preying upon you, trying to keep you down. That's literally a decision that you made. So let's take some responsibility here as well. Anyways, that's it for me. Let me know your thoughts below. Do you rent? Are you owning? Are you thinking about purchasing? Even if you're not in Atlanta, Georgia, did you know that I can help you? I can at least refer you to someone who is a super reputable, top-notch, gonna hold your hand just like I would person, actually from most states. I've got connects all over. Look, if you're interested, leave some information below, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.